Good afternoon and welcome to UCA YouTube channel. This is Ruth Boamajikun, graduate research assistant and doctoral student at UCA headquarters at Michigan State University. I'm here today to interview Dr. Lisa Bass as part of her candidacy for the UCA president. Today, listeners will be hearing from Dr. Bass, Associate Professor of Education, Leadership, and Policy Studies at North Carolina State University. Her research work focuses on education reform through the ethics of caring and equitable education for all students. Welcome, Dr. Bass.
Thank you, Ruth. So good to be here today.
Thanks. So let's begin with the first question. Please tell us about your background and your work as it relates to UCA's mission and goals.
Well, Ruth, I feel like I am a part of UCEA, but more importantly, UCEA is a part of me because it has truly framed who I am as a researcher and as a scholar. I have been part of UCEA since I was a graduate student member in 2005 at my institution, Penn State. And the longer I've been associated with UCEA, the more I've come to respect the vision and mission of the organization. Okay. And also, being in the various roles that I've served in, it gives me an opportunity to reflect on how the vision and mission is becoming increasingly important, especially in times such as we face now, such as post-COVID and times when society is looking at equity and critical race theory. This is a critical time, for UCEA and also, for me as a researcher. So since I've become involved in UCEA, I have been also committed to developing strong leaders for 21st century schools, such as UCA's mission, and also to social justice, which also aligns with the mission. But most importantly, to seeing the achievement gap and opportunity gaps close for disadvantaged students. So that is kind of how my work aligns with the mission and vision of UCEA.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. So you have served for several years as a plenary session representative. Tell us about your engagement in UCA's governance.
Yes, so I was a plenum representative at both North Carolina State University, which is where I currently am working, and also University of Oklahoma, where I was before actually coming to NC State. So with the two institutions, I've served as the plenum representative. And as part of the plenum, I would attend the meetings and, participate in working groups, give my input, and just really be a part of the process, which I found is so important. The longer I stay in education, that it's very important to have a seat at the table and to have a voice, and then to let that voice be informed and meaningful to, towards the organization's goals. So that's how I was as a plenum representative.
All right, thank you so much. In what other ways have you been engaged in UCA?
So after being a plenum representative, and I guess co-currently, I was also an associate director for Jackson Scholars. And in that which is our mentoring arm, then that worked along with Holly Mackey as the co-director to really further the goals and aims of Jackson Scholars. As a former Jackson Scholar myself, that organization was very near and dear to my heart. I had a chance to meet Barbara Jackson before she passed on, and also so many of the scholars throughout the years, during my time at UCEA. Like I said, that's been since 2005. So, and in addition to being a Jackson Scholar before and the Jackson Scholar co-director, I had numerous roles with UCEA. I was also working on the UCEA review as the interview editor. I did that for years and had an opportunity to talk to a lot of people associated with UCEA and looking at the organization from the inside out for years. Also worked on, just a publication with Michelle and also Bill Frick, where we wrote the ethics textbook for PCEL together, actually wrote and co-edited it together. So just numerous roles within UCEA over the years.
Thank you so much. So discuss with us your scholarship, research projects, teaching, and or service that can inform the work of UCA, particularly the work of the executive committee.
So right now, the focus of the work on the executive committee, and which it has been for the last couple of years that I've been on the EC, is the current equity audit work that we're doing. We realized that we needed to take a step back and really look at how UCEA is serving the society and also its members by being an equitable institution, since that is a core part of our mission and goals. So in doing that, I have served on the committee and looking at the governance arm. And also some of the other experiences that helped me with that was my time actually working with Division A. When I joined Division A, the committee that I'm referring to was called the Affirmative Action Committee. So I served on that. I did my 3-year stint. And then I was actually elected to the UCEA chair position for the Affirmative Action Committee. And after many discussions for years, the committee kept saying, why are we called the Affirmative Action Committee? We're moving into a new age of equity. And so I was the president who worked to change the name from the Affirmative Action Committee to Equity, Inclusion, which took a lot of, you could imagine with an organization as large as AERA, a lot of meetings, discussions, and work that we had to do to get that change. But I am happy to say that that name was changed. And with that, I was able to set up committees within the new Equity and Inclusion Committee to get other things, worked on and changed. And I see that parallel to what's occurring at UCEA currently with our equity audit, looking at where we are and seeing where we want to go just throughout that whole, process.
Thanks so much. So finally, share the reasons why you have chosen to run for the UCA president and your vision for the future of UCA.
So I have decided to run for the president because I want to give back to the organization that's given so much to me. As I, stated before, although I'm a part of UCEA, I feel like UCEA is a part of me because of all of the wonderful opportunities that I've had, since being a member of UCEA through my institutions, and just really wanting to take all that I've learned and to move UCEA to the next level through the year of my presidency. And for me, that would entail continuing with the equity audit, working with the current president, Dr. Mueller, with her vision, for the equity audit, and then taking it the next step, because I'm hoping that by then we will have the results of the equity audit and being able to do as I did at AERA, to set up some committees that would help us to accomplish the goals that we would have after reviewing the equity audit. And then whatever issues that may occur, during the presidency, I'm happy to work with those, and I feel equipped to do so. At my own institution, I've been a member of the Faculty Senate. I was a member for 3 years, and now I am moved to a position with the UNC Faculty Assembly, which is the state level faculty assembly. So I feel it's just so important to have a seat at the table so that you can not only view what's on the table, but have a say in how that is being processed and how we are moving the issues along.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for your time and your thoughtful responses, Dr. Bass. This interview will be archived on the UCA YouTube channel, Listeners can access or share the interview at any time. We also encourage listeners to post comments and questions on this interview in the comments on the UCA YouTube channel. Thank you and goodbye.
Okay, thanks so much, Ruth.